Students, welcome back. In today's class, I am going to explain subtraction of vectors. Before going to start the subtraction of vectors, let me remind the formulae which we discussed in the last class. In the last class, I explained you that magnitude of resultant of two vectors, and also we have derived equation for the direction of resultant of two vectors. Resultant means you can say the vector sum. If you have a resultant vector R which is obtained by the addition of these two vectors, P plus Q is the resultant which is R. So you can represent that R vector with this larger diagonal of parallelogram. Already we have studied this. This is the larger diagonal. So this larger diagonal gives resultant of these two vectors. If angle between these two vectors P and Q is theta, and angle made by this R vector with first vector is alpha, second vector is beta, then we have derived magnitude of this, or mod of P plus Q is the same as mod of R, which we got is under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Theta is what? Angle between P and Q. And we have also derived equation for this alpha or beta. Tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. These are the formulae which we derived in the last class, and we have also discussed a few applications. Now in today's class I am going to explain how a vector to be subtracted from a given vector. Very easier if you know the addition properly. The subtraction is so simple. So you can see here, if you want to subtract a Q vector from P minus Q, let it be S. This difference is a vector. Remember one thing, similar kind of vectors can be added or subtracted. It means what? Velocity can be added to velocity or subtracted from velocity. Velocity can be added, cannot be added to force, cannot be added to acceleration, or not subtracted from acceleration. Similar kind of vectors can be added. You will get same kind of vector. And also in the similar kind of vectors can be subtracted. That subtraction gives same kind of vector, right? This S and PQ are same kind of vectors, right? This is the S, difference of these two. So if you know this sum properly, if you are thorough with the addition of two vectors, then you can subtract this Q vector from P similar to addition of two vectors. You can just add negative vector of Q to P. Then it gives subtraction. What is the subtraction? Adding negative vector of this Q to P gives the subtraction of Q from P. P minus Q is nothing but P bar plus of minus Q bar. This minus Q is what? Negative vector of Q. So I can show this geometrically according to this. If these are two vectors P and Q, this is P, this is Q. This diagonal of parallelogram gives what? P plus Q, or R vector. This is R. What is R? P plus Q. Now to get that graphical representation for this P plus of minus Q, for graphical representation of this, so we need minus Q. This is Q. That minus Q is in opposite direction Q with the same size. So this is minus Q. Q and minus Q are with the same size and in opposite direction. Angle between Q and minus Q is 180 degrees. And according to this, if angle between P and Q is theta, what is theta? Angle between P vector and Q vector. Then what is the angle between P vector and minus Q vector? This. I need this. So here required is sum of these two, not these two. Sum of these two is R vector. Now sum of these two vectors is this S vector. So to get this sum of these two, now you can form another parallelogram with these two adjacent sides. You can see here, this is the parallelogram or symmetric parallelogram to this. Now if it is Q, this is Q. Now this is P, this is also P. You can see here the same diagram. Now this side is what? S. This is the P, this is Q. Diagonal of this is given by sum of these two. So the sum of these two is given by this diagonal. Sum of these two is given by this diagonal. Indirectly, you can shift this vector from here to here. This is also S. This is S. It means what? In this parallelogram, the sum of these two vectors is given by this bigger diagonal and difference of these two vectors is given by this smaller diagonal. I think it is clear. In a parallelogram which is formed by two vectors with two adjacent sides, bigger diagonal gives resultant of these two and smaller diagonal gives magnitude and direction of difference of two vectors. I think this is clear. This is S, this is R. To know S, you can apply the same formula. What is the magnitude of this S vector? What is S actually? It is P bar minus Q bar. Its magnitude equation under root of. You can see the square of this P square and next this vector square minus Q square 2pq cos theta 2p bar, and for these two vectors I am applying this magnitude of sum of two vectors. I am going to take that magnitude of sum of these two. So you can apply the same formula for this. You can see here. So it gives what? Mod of Q into cos. What is the angle between these two? Angle between P and minus Q is 180 minus theta. This is 180 minus theta. Cos of 180 minus theta. I will write here cos of 180 minus theta. You can see this magnitude of the difference of these two vectors is equal to root of, you can write this as simply P square. This is minus Q mod square gives what? Q square, and 2P mod of minus Q is Q only. So minus this cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta, write minus sign here, 2 this P, and this mod of minus Q is Q only. Cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta, minus I have written here cos theta. This is the formula for magnitude of this S vector. This is the formula for magnitude of this R vector. Clear? For this magnitude, formula is this. For magnitude of this, formula is this. Remember this. Now direction of this S vector. This direction of R vector is given by alpha. Alpha equation is this. If I say angle made by this S vector with this P vector is alpha dash. Alpha gives what? Direction of R vector with respect to P. Now alpha dash gives direction of this S vector with respect to P. S vector means this. R vector is means sum of these two vectors. You can see here based on this formula, I will apply this formula for this angle tan alpha dash, here q is there. Instead of q, here we are going to apply this formula to p and minus q, mod of minus q. This without bar means mod only. Sin theta means what is the angle between p and minus q? 180 minus theta by this one p minus p, sorry, p only. Q means minus q here, p minus q, and cos. What is theta? Angle between these two is 180 minus theta. Now tan alpha dash is, so mod of minus q is q only. Sin of 180 minus theta is sin theta. It is in second quadrant, and you have the same sin theta. Here this is p and this is q, and cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. You can write minus here cos theta. This is the, what is alpha dash? Angle made by that s vector with p vector. Clear? The same as tan alpha and resultant magnitude r, the similar equations. Now the applications of this are cases, special cases. You can see here, first case, if two vectors are parallel, like this. If it is the vector p bar and this is q bar, if two vectors are parallel. If two vectors are parallel, what is the angle between these two? Theta is 0. If theta is 0, I want the magnitude of resultant of these two. What is the formula for this? A root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, theta 0. So you will get this p plus q. You will get maximum. That resultant is maximum when two vectors are parallel. But in this case, the magnitude of difference of two vectors, s value I want, magnitude of this is equal to what? Minus p minus q equal to root of this equation, p square plus q square minus 2pq cos, what is theta? Angle between, this theta is what? Angle between p and q. But don't think here theta is again 180. So angle between these two is 0. Mod of s is equal to root of, it gives p square plus q square minus 2pq. So it implies this s is equal to, this is p minus q whole square and under root and square cancel. So you can write directly this s means p bar minus q bar, its magnitude is p minus q. This is minimum. When two vectors are parallel, their resultant is maximum, that is equal to p plus q, and that vector difference magnitude is minimum, it is equal to p minus q or q minus p also. If q is maximum, you can write q minus p. Greater vector magnitude minus smaller vector magnitude, that is minimum when two vectors are parallel. Second one, if two vectors are anti-parallel, opposite in direction, that is theta is 180 degrees. When these two are in opposite direction, already we have written the magnitude of resultant of these two is minimum. Already we have written this in applications of that parallelogram law of vectors. Mod of p bar plus q bar is minimum, its value is p minus q. When two vectors are parallel, magnitude of resultant of two vectors is equal to difference of magnitude of two vectors, right? P minus Q simply. Now magnitude of S when two vectors are antiparallel, this S value is, S is what? The vector difference of P and Q. So this is equal to root of, the formula is what? This one, P square plus Q square, P square plus Q square minus 2PQ cos theta. What is theta here? 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Now this S value is P minus Q is equal to root of cos 180 minus 1. Here you have one more minus, minus of minus plus. So it is the form of a square plus b square plus 2ab. So you can write p plus q whole square. This root and square cancel. So S is equal to mod of p minus q, which is equal to what? P plus q. So this is maximum. So means as we increase the angle between two vectors from 0 to 180, as we increase the angle between the two vectors from 0 to 180, magnitude of resultant of two vectors decreases from maximum. It decreases from maximum P plus Q to P minus Q. So if these are the two vectors, when you increase the angle gradually from 0 to 180, that R value decreasing from P plus Q to P minus Q. It means R value gradually decreases with increase of angle, but S value increases from minimum to maximum. More the angle, lesser the resultant, but greater the difference of two vectors. If angle is maximum, S value is maximum, but R value is minimum. When two vectors are in opposite direction, R value is minimum, S value is maximum. When two vectors are parallel, R is maximum, S is minimum. Clear? So this S value, it means you can understand from this P bar plus Q bar mod may be equal to P plus Q, it may be equal to P minus Q, and it can take any value between these two based on angle. It can be P plus Q, it can be P minus Q, and it can take any value between these two based on angle between P and Q. Similar to this, the magnitude of P minus Q, it can also be P minus Q, it can be P plus Q, and it can take any value between these two. This minimum value of P minus Q is this, when the two vectors are parallel. Maximum is P plus Q when angle is 180. I think it is clear. This mod of P plus Q take any value between these two, and this one also can take any value. If magnitude of A plus B is equal to magnitude of A minus B, then angle between A and B vector is angle between A and B. So as I told you, the mod of A plus B is maximum when two vectors are parallel, and it is minimum when two vectors are antiparallel. At the same time, when it is maximum, this is minimum. When it is minimum, this is maximum. Right? These two magnitudes may be equal for certain angle. Let us check by equating this. What is the mod of A plus B? So we have written this formula: A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now what is the mod of A minus B? Mod of A bar minus B bar is A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. Squaring this equation on both sides, the root get cancelled on both sides. Squaring on both sides, this root cancelled, So you will have a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. This a square, b square and b square cancel. Write this minus 2ab cos theta this side, it becomes plus. Already you have 2ab cos theta, it becomes 4ab cos theta equal to 0. Here a and b are non-zero vectors. Condition is where this mod of a is not equal to 0, mod of b also non-zero vectors, right? So if these two are not equal to 0, then definitely among these four terms cos theta must be 0. If these two are non-zero, then theta equal to 90. It means what? The mod of or magnitude of sum of two vectors and difference of two vectors is same when two vectors are perpendicular. If two vectors are perpendicular, that resultant magnitude and difference of two vectors magnitude is same. Clear? Now one more example. If A is unit vector, B is also unit vector. If there are two equal and unit vectors and their resultant also unit vector, and the resultant of these two unit vectors for certain angle also unit vector, then the magnitude of difference of these two vectors, then A minus B, its magnitude is A minus B magnitude. But you should not read 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. This is not ordinary difference, vector difference magnitude. Clear? Now let us use this condition first. What is R? R is equal to root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. So this is the formula for resultant. This is the resultant, that is also unit vector. Substitute all the values here. R is 1, this a is 1, b is 1, 2ab cos theta. Squaring this equation on both sides, 1 square is 1, 1 plus 1 2, this is 2 cos theta. Write this 2 this side, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, 2 cos theta. Therefore cos theta is what? Minus 1 by 2. Or you can write theta, this negative means it is in second quadrant, theta is 120 degrees. But required is what? We should find this magnitude of difference of two vectors. Formula for this is a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. It implies root of a square is, what is a? 1, b also 1, 2, a 1, b 1. Cos theta, you can see we got cos theta which is minus 1 by 2. Under root 1 square plus 1 square is 2. So you can see minus of minus plus, this is 2, 1 by 2. This cancel, this is equal to root 3. That is the magnitude of difference of two unit vectors. Clear? Now we use this subtraction of vectors generally to find change in velocity or relative velocity. Relative velocity means velocity of a body with respect to another body. We use this vector subtraction concept to find change in velocity. So you can see here, to find change in velocity. Change in velocity is what? It is also vector. The final velocity minus initial velocity is what? Change in velocity. So it looks like a minus b is equal to S bar, or you can write magnitude of this change in velocity is equal to root of v initial velocity speed square, the v final square, minus 2 vi vf cos theta. This is the formula for magnitude of change in velocity of a body. So what is theta? Angle between initial and final velocity. So if it is the direction of initial velocity and this is the final velocity, angle between these two is theta, right? We can also find relative velocity. Relative velocity can be found by using vector subtraction. Relative velocity means velocity of a body with respect to another body. Velocity of a body with respect to b is what? Velocity of a minus velocity of b. So this is also its magnitude. If you want write magnitude of this is equal to va square plus vb square minus 2 va vb cos theta. This is the relative velocity of a with respect to b in magnitude. And also you can find acceleration of the body. Acceleration means rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. Its magnitude is what? Mod of delta v by delta t. So how do we get delta v? Like this. You can also write this a is equal to the final velocity minus initial velocity divided by interval of time. This is average velocity. Clear? Sorry, average acceleration. Average acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity by time. And you can see to find change in momentum, we use this vector difference. Change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum. This is also based on vector subtraction. You can find the change in momentum based on subtraction of vectors. Or also you can find the force. Force is what? Rate of change of momentum. Or final momentum minus initial momentum divided by the time interval. Clear? So how to use this vector subtraction in different situations. Clear? For example, let us do one example problem. If a particle is going towards east with 10 meter per second and suddenly turns towards north and continues move with the same speed, it is moving continuously with the same speed 10 towards north, initially moving towards east and turned towards north and going with the same speed. Now what is the change in velocity? Of course, change in speed is 0. No change in magnitude. Initially particle is going with 10 meter per second towards east and after certain time turning towards north and going with the same speed. Change in speed is 0, but change in velocity not 0, because velocity depends on both magnitude and direction. But magnitude difference is 0. Magnitude is not changing. Change in magnitude is 0, but the direction is changing. That is why there is a change in velocity. Velocity change is not equal to 0. Let us say this is equal to the change in velocity, the final velocity minus initial velocity. What is initial velocity? Vi is 10, but required is Vi bar with direction. So you can write this as a 10 I cap. I cap shows what? Direction. It is along positive x direction. Generally we take east as a positive x direction. This is going here, this is towards north, means y axis. So the final velocity is this. Now it gives what? 10j minus 10i. This difference not equal to 0. It gives the change in velocity in vector form. Its magnitude is delta v. Magnitude is root of square of this plus square of this, 10 square and minus 10 square. It gives root 200, 10 root 2. is the change in velocity in magnitude. Clear? But not equal to 0, because velocity is changing due to change of direction. Now, for example, there is a circle of radius r, and this is the center of the circle, and this circle radius is r. A particle is revolving with constant speed. A particle is revolving along the circumference of the circle with the speed v, constant speed. This is constant. Then what is the change in velocity when it covers angle theta after angular displacement theta? If the particle starts moving along this circumference from A to B, if it is the angular displacement of the particle, now what is the change in velocity? Change in velocity, I want in magnitude, change in velocity. Here change in speed is 0, going with constant speed, but direction is changing gradually. Here this is the direction of v. The v direction always along the direction of tangent drawn to the circle at given instant. Now this is the direction of v. So if you displace this initial velocity up to here like this, if it is theta, this is also theta. So angular displacement and the change in direction is the same. So angle between this velocity and this velocity is theta. So this initial velocity is v in magnitude, final also v, angle between these two is theta. Now formula is v initial velocity square plus vf square minus 2vi vf cos theta. You can see this v square, v initial speed, here v initial is v, v final is v square minus 2v square cos theta. This is equal to v square plus v square, 2v square minus 2v square cos theta. But don't write this 0. So here 2v square is common, 1 minus cos theta. It gives the magnitude of change in velocity of the particle moving with constant speed along the circumference of the circle is, so this is what 2v square, 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. 2 into 2, 4, it becomes 2 outside the root, right? V square outside the root, it becomes v. Sin square theta by 2, root is sin theta by 2. This is the magnitude of change in velocity. So if the particle reaches exactly diametrically opposite point, here the velocity is like this, then if that angle of revolution is 180 degrees, if the particle completes half of the revolution from starting point, then angle of revolution is 180 degrees. If theta is 180, that change in velocity is 2v, that formula sin 180 by 2. It means what? Sin 90, it gives 2v. Change in velocity is 2v. If theta is 90 degrees, for a quadrant circular revolution, if the particle reaches this position, if angle of revolution is 90, if theta is 90, delta v is equal to, its magnitude is 2v sin 90 by 2. This is 2v sin 45. This is 1 by root 2. 2v by 1 by root 2 is what? Root 2v. Clear? For one complete revolution, angle is 360. For one complete revolution, if angle of revolution is 360, then change in velocity in magnitude 2v sin 360 by 2, it becomes 180. This is 0, no change in velocity, because the particle comes to the same position, it has the same speed, same direction, no change in speed and direction also when it completes one revolution. That is why the change in velocity is 0. Clear? Now laws of vector subtraction. Laws of vector subtraction. Already we have studied laws of vector addition. That is, we have discussed the commutative law, a plus b is equal to b plus a. That addition is independent of order of addition, right? A plus b and b plus a is same. So it obeys commutative law. Vector addition obeys commutative law. But whereas vector subtraction, a bar minus b bar not equal to b bar minus a bar. So that the difference is not same. So when you change the order, so it doesn't obey commutative law. Vector subtraction doesn't obey commutative law, but it obeys anti-commutative law. Anti means a bar minus b bar is equal to minus of b bar minus a bar. It means what? So these two are equal but opposite. It means that is it obeys anti-commutative law. Vector subtraction obeys anti-commutative law. Right? Now this, it means what? So mod of a minus b is equal to mod of b minus a. Magnitudes are same. If a minus b value is 100, b minus a also 100, but in opposite direction. So magnitudes are same for these two, but the sign is opposite. You will get direction opposite. And what is the additional information from this angle between a minus b and b minus a is 180 degrees. That is the anti-commutative law in case of vector subtraction. Clear? But vector addition obeys associative law. A bar plus b bar of c bar is equal to a bar plus of b bar plus c bar. You can add the vectors in any order. Irrespective of order of addition, you will get the same result. It obeys associative law. Vector addition obeys this. But vector subtraction, this vector subtraction, a minus b of minus c bar not equal to a bar minus of b bar minus c bar. It doesn't obey associative law. Doesn't obey associative law. Distributive law. Vector addition. What is the distributive law? So we should take a scalar and two vectors. So you can distribute this scalar to these two vectors k a bar plus k b bar. So it obeys this distributive law. It obeys distributive law. But whereas vector subtraction, you can see whether it obeys or not. The same scalar of a minus b can be equal to k a bar minus k b bar. It obeys this. Obeys distributive law. Clear? These are the important things from subtraction of vectors.